Hello dear students, in this session I will start with the concept of cryptography. Okay, so in cryptography you have two divisions. One is you will study about number theory, the concepts of number theory, and in the another part you will be dealing with encryptions and decryptions. So in number theory you will study some of the concepts like congruences, divisibility, modular arithmetic, and some of the standard theorems like fundamental theorem of arithmetic, division algorithm, Chinese remainder theorem, Pollard's row factoring formula, and many more. Okay, so these are the basic concepts for your number theory. You will study all these concepts. In encryption and decryption you will deal with crypto systems, and you will study the substitution techniques, to encipher and decipher the given text. Okay, so the substitution techniques may be Caesar cipher, Hill cipher, shift cipher, affine cipher, and many more. So here you will be having an algorithms. Those algorithms can be used to encipher or decipher the given text. Okay, it will be in the modulus operation. So for that the basic will be from your number theory. So before moving to the actual syllabus, let us see what is cryptography. So the word cryptography can be divided into two parts. Okay, the two parts I can write it as crypto and graphene. Crypto means hidden and graphene means writing. So if you observe these two words, you can say that this is something related to secrecy, right? So the cryptography is the science of, the formal definition can be written as cryptography is a science of keeping secrets secret. Using some of the techniques, we will just maintain the secrecy in the information. That means there are some information which should be kept secret always. So in order to maintain that secrecy, we will use the concept of cryptography. Okay, for example, the ATM pin number or as we see every day, we used to do WhatsApp messages, right? In that messages, whatever the messages I'm sending to the another person, that messages should be kept very secret. So for that also we will use the technique of cryptographies. So the whole syllabus in cryptography is consist of mainly two words, that is encryption and decryptions. Okay, first let us see what is encryption and decryption. I can define encryption as it is a process of converting plain text into cipher text using cipher and key. This is the formal definition of encryption, that is process of converting plain text into cipher text using cipher and key. For example, if I have a plain text hello, now I want to send this message to some person, say X, and let us consider this message is so confidential. Okay, I want this message should be secret and this message should send to X. So obviously there is a case of hacking this message by a third person. So for that purpose what I will do is, I will just convert this plain text into cipher text and I will send back this message to the person X. That is, in cryptography we will give numbers to each alphabets. Okay, that is nothing but for each letter of your alphabet there will be numerical value. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. We will start giving numerical value from 0, 0. So it will be 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 3, 0, 4, 0, 5, 0, 6, 0, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. This is the numerical value we have assigned to each alphabet. Okay, each letter of your alphabet. So now you can observe for H we have a numerical value 7, right? Similarly for E the numerical value is 4, for L it is 11 and for O it is 14. So now I can convert this message to a secret numerical value as 07 04 11 11 14. That means HELLO. So if I have a key, say K is equal to 3. Okay, that means I will add 3 to these digits. That means you will get 10, 7, 14, 14, 17. So now for this numerical value, check the letters in your table. For 10 it is K, for 7 it is H, for 14 it is O and for 17 it is R. So instead of sending hello to the X person, I will send KHOOR and I will tell to that X person that value of K or key is 3. So what that X person will do is he will just write the numerical value for these letters and he will just subtract from 3 so that he will get back the plain text. This is what the actual process of cryptography. Depending on the substitution techniques, we will use different formula. For Caesar cipher, the example I can give is, for Caesar cipher we can use C is congruent to P plus K mod 26. Here P is nothing but plain text, K is nothing but key. For this example we have used the value of K is 3 and the plain text is nothing but each letter corresponding to some numerical value, right? That numerical value will be substituted here. So this is 7 plus 3 mod 26. 7 plus 3 is 10 mod 26. So the value of 10 is corresponding to the letter K. This is how the encryption technique or encryption process takes place. Similarly, I have used one more letter, that is decryption. Decryption is nothing but it is also a process which converts your process of converting cipher text to plain text using cipher and key. But here the algorithm will be different because in the first example, that is for encryption, we are finding the cipher text. Now I have to convert back to plain text. That means I should find out P. So P will be congruent to C minus K mod 26. Again, the value of C will be the letter which is corresponding to the numerical value. That means 10 and the key value is 3 here. 10 minus 3 mod 26. So 10 minus 3 is 7. 7 mod 26 means this 7 is corresponding to the letter H. So the first letter is H. This is how decryption takes place. Okay. So again, depending on the substitution techniques, there will be different algorithms. This is the algorithm for Caesar cipher. We will use this algorithm for encryption and this algorithm for decryption. So we have one more word is ciphertext and plain text. We can define plain text as this is the original or readable message. That means you can read this. This is the original message which I want to send to that third person and you can read this. The next one is ciphertext. Ciphertext is nothing but transformed message. And obviously it will be in the unreadable form. So KHOOR, this is something like which is not in a normal format. That means you cannot read it, right? So it is in unreadable form, or you can say that this is the transformed message. That is nothing but your ciphertext. Cipher means this is an algorithm. So cipher is an algorithm transforming a readable message into unreadable form by transposition method, or we can say that substitution technique, transposition method or by substitution technique. Next important keyword is key. Key is nothing but it is some critical information used by sender and receiver. It is known to only sender and receiver. Okay, that is nothing but key. These are some of the basic words which we will be using again and again in the whole cryptography. So which are there? One is encryption and decryption, another one is plain text, ciphertext and key, right? Now let us see the objectives of cryptography. So we have four fundamental security service. The primary objective of cryptography is to provide security purpose, right? In the beginning I have told you that as the name suggests, it is used to maintain the secrecy in the information. So obviously the objectives also will be for security service. So we have four fundamental security services. That means the primary objective of cryptography is to provide the security services for four fundamental points. The fundamental things are confidentiality, data integrity, authentication and non-repudiation. So confidentiality means it is the fundamental security service provided by your cryptography. It is a security service that keeps the information from an unauthorized person. So confidentiality is nothing but it is just securing the service that keeps the information from an unauthorized person. The information should not be known to unauthorized person. So confidentiality comes into picture in order to maintain the secrecy of the information which is supposed to not to known to the unauthorized person. So sometimes we will call this confidentiality as privacy or secrecy. For this I can say that an example can be given as the ATM PIN number. So ATM PIN number always we should maintain confidentiality while using ATM cards, right? And the PIN number should maintain very confidential. The next thing is data integrity. The purpose of data integrity is if some X person wants to send message to Y person, the third person say Z, he can modify the message and then sends to Y. There is a chances of hacking the messages and modify it and sending to Y, right? So in order to avoid this problem, we will use data integrity. That means a loss of integrity is the unauthorized modification or destruction of information. So in order to maintain the information properly, we will use data integrity. So data integrity is one of the security service and it acts as a primary objective of your cryptography. The third one is authentication. Authentication is nothing but it provides the identification of originator. That means in X and Y, the originator is X. He is the originator here. It confirms that means authentication confirms that the receiver received the data sent by originator only. That means there is no modification. In order to avoid the modification, we will be using data integrity. So in order to confirm the text which Y has received is sent by the originator only, we will use the authentication. Okay, in authentication we have two parts. One is message authentication. Another one is entity authentication. In message authentication, it identifies the originator of the message without any router. Okay. So while in entity authentication, it ensures that the data has been received from the specific entity. Specific entity in the sense specific website. So in entity authentication, apart from the originator, it may also give you the specific entity like website, date and time. So the confidentiality is nothing but privacy or secrecy. Here your information will keep safe, right? So in data integrity, what happens is if it just avoids that third person can modify your messages or your data, so it will avoid that problem in data integrity. Authentication is nothing but the second person which say Y received some message, say hello. It checks that the message hello is sent by X only. That means the originator is X only. This type of services can be given by authentication. In authentication we have two parts. One is message authentication, another one is entity authentication. Here in message authentication, it identifies the originator of the message without any router. In entity authentication, it gives you the information about the specific entity, that is nothing but website, date and time. The last one we have is non-repudiation. Non-repudiation is actually, it is the assurance that someone cannot deny the validity of something. That means non-repudiation refers to the ability to ensure that a party to a contract, or you can say that communication must accept the authenticity of their signature on the document or the sending of a message. Okay, so here it is like if for example X sends message to Y, there are some situations like X, say X is some person and he did not send any amount to the Y. Y is nothing but bank. Okay, so there are some problems like this. That means I'm just giving example for where the repudiation origin. So we have seen a situation like this. Some amount will be credited to bank, say Y, from the person X, but that transfer amount is not done by the sender X. This is where the reputation origin. ಅಂದರೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತಿದೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಒಬ್ಬ ಪರ್ಸನ್ he is not sending any amount to bank, but the amount is debited from his account and credited to some other account in the bank. This is where this situation is called as repudiation origin. Okay, repudiation emission means this person has sent some amount, he just transferred some amount to the bank. For example, the amount may be 500 rupees, but the transfer took place is some 1500. This is called as repudiation emission. So in order to avoid these type of problems, one of the security service we use is non-repudiation. So this non-repudiation is also one of the primary objective of your cryptography. So we have seen 4 fundamental security services which acts as a primary objectives of your cryptography. One is confidentiality, another one is data integrity, then authenticity, and the last one is non-repudiation. In authenticity we have seen 2 cases, one is message authentication and another one is entity authentication. So I will stop here. Let's continue the remaining thing in the next session. Thank you.